What if I told you that you can outrun 99% of people just by using a few work tools and spending half an hour a day doing that? I have been fully self-supporting since I was 18 years old. I live in Dubai, travel a lot, run a large YouTube channel, and generally don't deny myself anything. At a fairly young age, I know firsthand what it means to bypass most of the ranks of my peers and become 1% in terms of earnings and in terms of personal achievements. And it's not a question of being better or worse at someone. It's about moving to a higher level and breaking out of our usual standards of living. I will share my experience in this field. I don't pretend to be the truth or the expert in the field of personal growth, just my opinion and thoughts. So guys, let's get started. The first thing is to start with is understanding. Understanding that in fact most people are now as lazy as possible. They find 1,000 excuses to do nothing, day in and day out. They're engaged in scrolling through social networks from morning to night. They don't want to grow up. They spend a lot of time hanging out, meaningless communication, and other kinds of simple pleasures. These are the people who are now most dependent on social networks, on public opinion, who consume so much content that they don't have time for themselves. And these are the people you have to compete with. That is, in fact, a minimal deviation in the opposite direction from destructive habits already give you an opportunity to step up from the masses. The second thing you need to understand for yourself is that opportunities are absolutely at every turn right now. People are earning on absolutely everything. Any skills, education, expertise, even in the narrower specialties can be monetized. What's next? Next, you need to implement your minimal complex solution rule for yourself. What do I mean by that? A difficult decision is when, for example, you come to a restaurant and choose to drink water instead of Coke. Just because, firstly, it's more difficult, and secondly, you understand that you will get harm from cola. Sugar will negatively affect your condition, health, and productivity. And of course, you'd better choose to drink water and take care of your body, even though it's more difficult because you want something harmful. Or do not go up the escalator like everyone else, but go up the steps, even if you are the only one on this staircase. Just make it a habit to choose more difficult actions in everything, because at distance it will lead to you becoming more disciplined. If you go to bed early instead of going to some kind of party, you will observe the regime instead of hanging out half the night on the street with people with whom you have nothing in common. And so, step by step, you will be able to instill in yourself this habit of choosing to do the right things that move you forward, because when you underestimate the power of small steps, the power of small steps is that we move ourselves forward by imperceptible actions, and at the distance we find ourselves much further than those who didn't take these steps. Even if you read 5 pages a day, you'll already be ahead of those who don't. If you exercise at least once a week, take at least 10,000 steps a day, or just simple exercises, then your body will be better in the long run than those who do nothing. If you work 5 minutes longer, study one new topic per week or month, you'll be much further away within a year than the person who is competing with you. Therefore, the rule of small steps is mandatory. Add something new to your routine every day, something that will move you forward. The second rule for getting around 99% of the people around you is to do what 99% of the people don't do. Obviously, the actions they take lead them to the result they already have. But what you're doing at your level is not leading you to what you want. So you need to change tactics. Really, think about what the focus of the people in your environment is. Now think about what successful people like Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and so on are doing or have been doing. Watch the interviews of these people, read their biographies to understand what their main focus is. But first, even try to artificially follow their rules. Choose for yourself those that suit you and follow them, and you'll already be 10 steps ahead of every person who remains at the same level where you were before. This is a very basic, simple rule, and I often apply it to myself. I'm thinking, what would a person I want to become in this situation choose? Better to think what a 1% person would do and make a decision based on that. But here an important rule is to try it on yourself and do only what responds. Listen to yourself so as not to lose yourself as a person, but to develop yourself multiple times. Therefore, it's important to study these people whose environment you want to get in. Next, as soon as you have that idea, as soon as you start burning with some kind of business or project, your task is to do as many actions in this state is possible. Most people are used to systematically doing one action within one day, but it won't work in the first stages. You should test as many hypotheses as possible in a short period of time, discard all unnecessary things, and leave the key actions on which you will move on. Your task is to try every potential opportunity, because right now there is a genius like you, your competitor, who also thought of it. Your task is to understand that you need to be different at every step. It's not easy to distinguish yourself once in something and that's it. Namely, at every step to find new ways to be ahead. Keep track of those who have already achieved results in your business. Understand exactly what they are doing differently. Apply it to yourself and improve. Thus, at the very level of development, both professionally, personally, and socially, you will succeed compared to those who stand still. Do more action than others at each stage, starting from those ending with implementation. If you accept this rule in everything, then people around you will be shocked how so much has happened in a month, as they didn't even notice this time. It's also great advice to seek the opinion of more experienced people in the topics you are interested in, whether it is psychology, relationships, work, business, trading, and so on. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Learn from experience and ask for opinions about your situations or requests. Often the person who has already paved this path can help highlight problematic points much faster than you get to it yourself. The next rule is to get used to difficulties, understand that problems are inevitable, and treat everything more easily. I know that most people find it very difficult to emotionally experience some kind of setback. They constantly think about it. If someone refused them, something didn't work out, and so on. They can then think about it for now a week and constantly be in this stream of negative thoughts. In fact, I'm exactly the same, often worry about everything, but all successful people treat problems as part of the path, look at things positively, and that's probably their strength. RNA on this planet is inevitable. Sooner or later, all these problems will not matter at all. So, is it worth spending our valuable time worrying about the process instead of enjoying the process and getting better every time? With that, friends, I want to say that if you apply at least a few of these rules, you will definitely be able to become a step above the people around you. Your personality will already begin to change and look at the things from a different angle. Learn from mistakes and see opportunities in everything. Write your thoughts in the comments, and of course, subscribe to the channel, and I'm waiting for you in the next videos. Bye bye.